Hello there, Kat Morgan from Boma Marketing here. Today I'm going to talk about creating an email newsletter. So when you want to have multiple sections, multiple topics in an email, you can do that really simply in Boma, and here's how. Let's jump into our dashboard. I'm going to create my new campaign, which is going to be an email. Name your campaign something useful, your clients won't see that. Start off with writing your subject line. Please don't say something as boring as newsletter. Put something catchy in there. Ditto with your preview description. Okay, let's jump into select a template. You can see we've got these pre-designed templates with placeholder images and text. I will do another separate session on those, but today I'm going to use this instant template. Here we are in my email template now. I click on rows, and this is where you'll find the three options for the basic structure of your newsletter. Click onto the drop down menu and you'll see the three options here. I'm going to start with content library. This is where you can inject items from our content library into your newsletter as a starting point. The tip here is to show content that is linked only. The reason is you want an article that's a short intro with a learn more button, because a newsletter really needs to be short, kind of snappy sections rather than long form email, because it'll just be massively long. So, and I'll show you kind of how that looks once we select an article. You can beforehand see where the article will link to. In this case, the Xero ones typically go to Xero's small business guides. Now this can be changed if you wish, and I'll show you how. So let's select this article on hiring employees. What will then display on the right hand side is the options for the structure of this article. As you can see, whether you want the images to be larger or smaller, perhaps a centered image, or kind of more of the longer form article, as you can see here. I'll choose this one at the top and I drag that into my templates. This is my starting point. Now any of this text can be customized or rewritten or tweaked. If I click on the Learn More button, over on the right hand side you can see that this is going to open a web page to go off to Xero's Small Business Guides. If you want to, you can remove that, but just bear in mind that the article might not make sense if it doesn't go somewhere for further reading. So bear that in mind. I can then jump back into the Rows tab. I can go back to the content library and inject another article. Let's choose this one on when to give a pay rise. And again, choose the structure. This time I might decide the second one with the image on the left hand side. And you can see there we've got two beautiful articles as a starting point. Now, what if you've got your own thing to say? You want to have a section that's really about your business. You can simply then drag one of these articles into your template and simply then replace the text. So your intro goes here. Replace the image, change the action on the Learn More button as required. So simply take the basic structure and replace it with your messaging. If I click on the Rows tab to display those options again, you scroll to the bottom, you'll see you've also got this option for a spacer, and you can drag that in to put a nice little gap between each section as well, which I think makes it look really slick. So that's the option for starting off with content from the content library. If I click on the Rows tab, click on the drop down menu, you'll see I've still got two more options. Let's click into the default option. This gives you placeholder images and text, again with the basic structure, whether you want something centered, do you want a couple of columns, 3, 4, 5, etc. You know, something with the image on the left. You can see you've got a lot of options for this basic structure that you'd like to start with. I simply then, once I've decided which one I want, I can drag that into my template. Then you just need to replace the text. Click on the image. You can change the image by uploading your own or choosing one from our image library. You can also note that because I've dragged in this new section, it's introduced sort of the background is white, but that's really easy to change. If you want to make that grey, like I've chosen my brand colours, you can simply choose row background colour grey. Then maybe if you want the internal section to be white, you can simply select it there. So you can see you've got options there for the colour of your row and structure once you've selected your basic starting point through that default option. Next is empty. This is where you can create your own structure from scratch. So as an example, here is the basic structure of a row. So a small box on the left and bigger on the right hand side. So I'll drag that into my template. Next I need to select the content that's going to go into that basic structure. So I might choose to have text in that block there and maybe an image in that panel there. So again, then I can browse to upload my own image or choose one from our content library and then simply replace the text. You can see here as well I've got dividers that I can drag in as well, and other options there for creating my own structure entirely. Again, I can highlight and choose the row background color. Maybe I'll go bright orange this time. So you can get pretty creative. It's probably a little bit more time consuming to do it this way, but if you've got a particular format that you're looking to build towards that aligns with your branding, then that might be your best option. So there's the basic 3 structures for building your newsletter, starting off with content from the content library, the default structure, or the empty templates, and build your own from scratch. If you're, I recommend sticking with one rather than mixing them up, just so you've got the same look and feel for your newsletter. Once you're happy with your structure, you can save and close out of the email template. You can then finish your email, choose to deliver it immediately or schedule for a time in the future. Now, once you've built your email template once, the good news is that next month when it's time to write your newsletter, you can use that same email and just replace the text and images. So you simply then would choose the tab Previous Emails as your template starting point. So spend time designing your template once and then reuse it each month. If you have any questions, would like help building your first email newsletter structure, please sing out. We'll be super happy to help. Thanks for your time, and hope you can join me for the next session.